Our spotlight story tonight is about a Moses Lake High School senior who is heading to Olympia to represent the Boys and Girls Club of the Columbia Basin in a Youth of the Year event. Reporter Jeff Chu met with the senior and has the story.
Moses Lake High School senior Sebastian Seibel has been a regular at the Boys and Girls Club in the Larson community since he was 5 years old. More than 4 years ago, Sebastian became a volunteer, and the Boys and Girls Club of the Columbia Basin hired him part-time last summer as a youth development specialist at the club. He helps a number of low-income youths in their homework, after-school fun, games, and learning. Those are the same programs he enjoyed growing up at the clubhouse that today sits next door to North Elementary School. Sebastian's youth leadership development continues on Tuesday when he represents the club at the Boys and Girls Club of America's Youth of the Year event in Olympia. There he will compete for several scholarships and a chance to compete for the national event in Washington, D.C. He offered a glimpse into his speeches, sharing his hopes for the youths of the future.
Well, I'd just like to see them, kind of not grow up as I've grown up, have better opportunities. Before I came to the club when I was about 4, I didn't really have, food or, supervision. And it was always kind of hard finding, just ways to stay out of trouble. So when I came here, it was more of a, kind of an excuse to stay out of trouble. It kind of helped me stay out of trouble. And I at least had one, a snack a day, so it helped. There was times where all we had was, a few potatoes.
Sebastian will compete against Boys and Girls Club youths from around the state for 2 full days of interviews, speeches, tours, and fun. He hopes to meet Governor Jay Inslee when the group visits the governor's mansion at the state capitol. Sebastian, who is firm but kind, caring, and friendly with the club kids at the Larson Boys and Girls Clubhouse, talked about the essays he has written and will present to the judges next week. Judges who are some of the nation's top corporate executives, other club directors, families, and fellow Youths of the Year participants will be listening. He recalled what he has learned at the Boys and Girls Club.
It was a good experience for me trying to teach what I've learned in my morals, onto the next generation. Hopefully they would have learned from it.
Sebastian said the club kept him out of gangs and the vicious cycle of street violence.
My experience, I've seen kids go out and do drugs and get in gangs and get in fights, and I've seen my personal cousin die over it. I mean, he used to come to the club and every day and and stuff like that, and then he kind of moved away and he got into a gang, and he actually passed away last year because I fear it's because he hasn't been coming here. If he would have had a better opportunity to get out of that mess, he probably would have still been here today.
Upon graduation, he plans on attending Big Bend Community College as an automotive technology student. Sebastian's supervisor, Michelle Dano Rodriguez, who has worked for the Boys and Girls Club for 16 years, serves between 60 and 120 youths a day at the club.
Sebastian was blonde hair, blue-eyed, cutest little thing in the world. Pretty much attended, every field trip that we had, from, fishing trips to going out of town, different things. So watching him grow into a young man has been an amazing experience for me to see. Somebody who could have chosen to, choose to go off with his friends and go down the wrong path, to be here. He spent, years just volunteering and just hanging out when he could have been out there doing bad things. He's definitely beaten the odds. He has never complained about what he has not had, and everything that he has now, he has worked for and has worked very hard for it.
Sebastian says he will go wherever his automotive career takes him, but he hopes to return to give back to the club one day.
I do love this place and being here, but eventually it's gonna have to, I'm gonna have to move from it and find a better job, but I will come back. They've showed me kindness to where I feel like that's my part, to help, to give back.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back after this.